It always suits my belly today with on good afternoon and welcome to Updated Precious. Just about 3:30 p.m. and I'm always excited to be with you to bring you updates on things that happen for inside Nigeria. How are you doing? How on a day today? How body now? How it take be? So sharp. Make we just bring on some updates of matter them with the hot for inside Nigeria quickly. When I hear say the money when I don't borrow so far, don't reach about 55 trillion naira under President Bola Tinubu only in 19 months. You see, they do price up. It never even starts. Okay, we'll move on. Talking about other matter. Now, APC chieftain Ndume don't fire President Bola Tinubu over the one way he talk, say in appointment, say so like this, say carry one hand like this, and say plus including saying now 70% of all the people when they employ, only Yoruba na them from. 70% of the people when they employ for your appointments, I be when they appoint now Yoruba people. And most of them are people who get dual citizenship. They not be only Nigerians. Yeah, do me carry mouth to come. We'll go reach that level when the time reach. Mahmoud Yakubu, they preside over INEC weekly meetings right now. Me and you they talk like this. So I should say go say waiting be the surprising news there. This one because of the matter when they talk, say they don't sack him and President Bola Ahmed don't replace him with another person. But now him they preside over INEC weekly meeting right now as they talk. Then Mark Waka inside River State House of Assembly where as they talk to you, Wike done former governor of River State, FCT Minister Wike, he don't host the 27 suspended lawmakers, them, the other faction, them, and he hosts them to dinner for inside UK, all the way from UK, all the way from Nigeria to UK. Now, if Wike go host the former lawmakers, them. In fact, I'll be the suspended lawmakers because they still be lawmakers. The suspended lawmakers into UK. Meanwhile, still concerning that assembly matter and how it take bonfire, there's some people who don't come out, come talk, say that is the group of people you said they don't arrest before, come and quit them. They talk say they under pressure to implicate Fubara and chief of staff. Hey. This matter get as it be. Well, we'll get to that conversation when the time comes. Now, Trump tariff. Expert they raise concerns as global downturns they hit Nigeria badly. As they talk to yourself today, self dollar don't answer to that hitting because dollar self don't go up sharply. Other matter than they will see pay attention to. Natasha Akpoti you do and doctor say, come, baby, one boy. Why boy, you come here, where boy? This thing that you just open your mouth and talk anyhow like this. Oh yeah, come and tell us. Where did you see me that I pressurized my husband to marry me? Well, come and tell the court. Because you don't carry where but you go court. Go somewhere but you with 5 billion, 5.1 billion. I like the way she always puts extra 100 million on top. You know that kind of thing. Don't somewhere but you with 5 billion naira suits. For defamation, make it come explain how I used force my husband to marry me. Matter day way be so go still put mouth inside, and that's what they talk to you right now. People they mourn the death of former Diamond Bank founder Pascal Dozier. Tinubu don't mourn him all the way from France. Of course, you know Peter Obi said don't mourn him. And so it take be. But then Waka can't talk about other things we get to do with governance sharply, as he be say, for concerning people waiting for government right now, as it gets to do with Boko Haram. As they talk to you, Borno State, then talk to Zulum, don't say Borno say, so don't they lose the fight against Boko Haram? Say Borno don't they lose ground. Say Borno don't they lose ground for Boko Haram fight. How they go take drum like this? So Boko Haram, Borno is losing ground, says Zulum. How they go take do this matter now? Bandits don't abduct Kebbi University students. Whap them, abduct them. Now wow. Okay, concerning Peter Obi and Abure matter, I tell you yesterday, say Peter Obi and Alex Oti hold call for emergency neck meeting. And Abure can't tell them, Abure and tell them, how dare you? How dare you look at us like this and call for next meeting? How dare you? Like yesterday, that story happened. In fact, for behaving anyhow, we can suspend you. In fact, we can sanction you. Abure team, they tell Peter Obi and Alex Oti, we can suspend you for behaving anyhow. So right now, they don't also, Abure team don't also, in fact, say they don't suspend Ogene as leader. Now they reply them, LP reps can't reply Abure, can't say, Organovex, excuse me, Abure, come and be coming down, because only Kakos can remove Ogene as a leader. Well, the drama for inside Labour Party is still hot because it be like say it never they end anytime soon. As their matter them still they hot for inside that place. But we leave Labour Party to enter for inside other matter. As alleged 1.8 billion naira fraud, EFCC don't arraign Governor Bala Muhammad, Accountant General Siraju. You know, say Bala Muhammad don't they very critical as he say they talk about, especially yes, on Wike matter, and he did critical of President Bola Tinubu administration. He did critical of that administration where nah, they don't do it in EFCC, don't they drill. They follow in accountant general. What's going to happen to Oga Bala once he drop her leg as governor? If President Bola Tinubu wins second term, your guess is as good as mine. Is this a wicked vendetta coming? Some people go ask, but I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Nigerian Correctional Service don't throw Independence Day bomber Charles Oka into solitary confinement for exposing Borno prison corruption. Can't deny him in drugs and in family. All this matter then, now we get to bring for Honor Domot today. Joining me for Inside the Studio, Prince Francis Chilaka. Prince Francis Chilaka, thank you so much for joining me, and apologies for bamboozling you and allowing me to bamboozle you and move you with crane to come inside my studio this afternoon. I appreciate you, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, Precious. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I should be very well. I should be very well.
You got no choice.
I could try make a deal well. So I could begin attend to this matter.
If you know when I say your mental health don't get problem.
The mental health self get question. The mental health not make me rush come up from mainstream media. Be like say the thing they pushing me, they come here like this. So we could enter inside the matter then. First of all, the ones then way hot as it happened. We could enter them one by one. So I don't know whether you watched that interview yesterday with Ali Ndume and I think Charles of Arise Television yesterday evening for Inside Prime Time show, right? And where he talked about a lot of things. He first come, he talk say, you know, they happy with the way President Bola Tinubu they use doing appointments. Say all President Tinubu appointments, and I saw you get one hand. Say 70% of the people then weigh in the appoint. It'd be like that say President Bola Tinubu get to watch this appointment. And then when he talk, he can't even talk more. Say most of the people where President Bola Tinubu they are appoints. Say most of them are people who even get dual citizenship. So because of say they get citizenship or they get allegiance to another country, say they don't if you give their all to the country Nigeria. So now in case of Yendeba, so they need if you pay their 100% attention to Nigeria because the attention they divided. I would like to take your reaction because a lot of people don't talk. Say, why in Ndume they talk now? Why in Buhari been the government? Where in been they? People say, well, he criticized Buhari government too. But people say, did he criticize the nepotism during Buhari's administration? That's a question where a lot of people ask. So yeah, I can let you answer, sir.
You see, the problem of Nigeria is two-faced.
Wait, two-faced.
Yes. We have tribalism, and then we have religiosity. These are the two major issues that is bedeviling this country. And each time, it depends on where you stand. Then you decide to decide what to do. For me, Senator Ndume is two-faced. With due respect to him. Yes, he's two-faced. He speaks from two sides of the mouth. Go and check. There was no time. This same senator that has become so loud, louder than megaphones and speakers. The 8 years of Buhari's government, there was no day Ndume criticized Buhari for appointments. If there is, I need to be proven, wrong. But there was no criticisms. And we know that this whole thing about nepotism, favoritism, employing people without character, did not start with Bola Tinubu. So we may say we don't like the policies of Bola Tinubu, especially the policies that is affecting the ordinary citizens. The policies of subsidy is gone. The policy of bandwagon and bandage and band A of NEPA, PHC and electricity, and the taxations that are going on. Yes, Nigerians are not happy about that. But when it comes to the lopsidedness in appointment, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, your president, has kept to his words that he will continue from where Buhari stopped. And that is exactly what he's doing. So I don't know why Ndume is complaining. Ndume never complained about the lack of merit, the fact that federal character was not observed by Buhari's administration. So why is he complaining about it now? Is it because is a southerner that is there? Until we all begin to think Nigeria first, this country will not move forward. Unfortunately, your political leaders think about themselves. Stomach infrastructure, something that the ordinary Nigerian should be known for. That is what people who are earning millions, who are stealing this country dry, they are still part of those who are embedded in stomach infrastructure. So as far as I'm concerned, Ndume has gotten it right. He should not criticize his government when it comes to the lopsidedness of appointing aides, appointing people into government. Because when he had opportunity to criticize it, as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as they want to be called, he never spoke out against it. So for me, I just believe that Ndume is just playing to the gallery. He's trying to sound politically correct, maybe because he's looking at 2027 to come back to the Senate. But other than that, he has no point. He's not making any sense criticizing Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the kind of people he has decided to appoint. After all, these same people that have been appointed, most of them have been in the Senate, of which is a member. So what are we talking about?
Now, let's screen them, Abi, and can't approve them. So what is it complaining about? Okay, so make a play you except of when Ndume talk that one. Plus, he did more things when Ndume talk for inside this meeting. Just like you talk, some people they of the opinion say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not just because of saying appointment they lopsided or in the choose people from one particular region. People they look and like say in the employ people, in the appoint people based on trust, and people will trust them. But he did one thing when Ndume also talk. He talk about the borrowing from inside President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. We go talk about that borrowing shortly, but make we hear what and get to talk about that appointment. Then waiting some other people, some other opinions think.
The figures are there. You can look at the figures. I sent you one. I sent you figures. It's not that I'm just making accusations, and it's not that I'm saying, well, the president has no right to do that kind of thing, but there's a constitutional provision. Section 14.3 of the Constitution is very, very clear. When you look at it vis-à-vis the appointments made so far, and they are political appointments, if appointments that are professional, so to say, like you can't appoint somebody who is not a soldier to become the chief of army staff, or you can't appoint somebody that is not a police to be the IG of police. And you can't appoint such persons once they don't get to, they are not qualified. But then, when you come to look at political appointments, the Constitution is very clear. And it's because to avoid such infractions that the Constitution Section 14.3 clearly states that appointments, especially political appointments, should reflect the federal character. And that is not the case here. And all I'm saying is to call the attention of Mr. President to such infractions so that it can be corrected. Otherwise, you know, these things can boomerang at a certain period of time. It's not. And I know, as you rightly said, people look at me as somebody that is critical of the government. I have the right to do that in the first place. And in fact, that's why I'm in the National Assembly in the first place. Collectively, we are supposed to oversight the acts of Mr. President and point out some of these irregularities. Absolutely. That is what we swore to do. It's not personal. I think I have better personal relationship with most of these people that are talking about Tinubu. And I can say in the North, if you count, not up to 5 people that have close relationship with Mr. President, Ndume is one of them. But that does not stop me from speaking the truth, and have obligation to do that, especially when all of us know that at the end of it all, everyone, each one of us will stand before God, and God will ask him to account for what he is responsible for. You understand? And that's why I'm saying this. And besides, we are all in this government. What will we tell our people? When you have these figures out, it's already viral, it's already in circulation. But you know what? From now, after this interview, those attack dogs or MAGA dogs will start attacking Ndume, not the message. And that's why we always get it right. It is not about Ndume or me being a senator. As a Nigerian, I have the right to voice out all these things. Not only that, I have the right to even protest. I have the right. That is guaranteed by the Constitution. But from tomorrow, those so-called Tinubu boys or people will start attacking Ndume. Oh, he's a frustrated.
I beg no,
well, I'm happy with
you. But you know who the attack dogs. I want to ask you. I don't know the attack dogs. Them.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Yes. You know what attack dog then you be?
Ndume is suffering from lack of largesse from the office of the president. That is why he's talking. If, as he claims, as a senator who is supposed to oversee what the president is doing, does he not sit in the Senate when these so-called appointees are approved? He doesn't sit. So the days they want to do that, he leaves the Senate. Is that what Ndume is trying to tell us? So, I mean, when you come, we agree. Suddenly he has brought in the God factor. God will ask him what he has done. But God will also ask them, when they sat down, instead of using tutor, they used a voice vote to put state of emergency in Rivers State. Was it not there? So what is he talking about? Supposed to sound correct, politically correct. As far as I'm concerned, Ndume does not have the moral right to question the appointment of Mr. President. He does not have it. So long as he's a senator, a sitting, serving senator, in position where decisions are taken, and he applauds those decisions. He has never come out one day to say, I spoke against the appointment of so and so person. One, I spoke against the imposition of state of emergency in Rivers State. No. I spoke against the removal of fuel subsidy. No. Ndume, please go and sleep somewhere.
Okay. All right. So make him go sit down one corner. But make I take another opinion, a diverse, more like contrary opinion about that thing we in talk. Make we watch that contrary opinion then before we go further to take.
I think he's more inclined, to rewarding loyalty. He's more compensatory in his approach. Continuing from a mindset of hiring people that he imagines that he can trust. That's what I think he is doing. I don't think he has this mindset to say that it has to be exclusively Yorubas or people from the south.
Because a lot of people are arguing that it's not actually spread across.
Yeah, that's it. So he has.
He made that point.
I think he's just committed to rewarding loyalists who are maybe not necessarily incompetent. Yes, many of them are competent, but it goes beyond competence. In an ethnically,
Trump.
Yeah, we're not the United States of America that is slightly sophisticated in terms of classification, in terms of dividers. We are not that sophisticated. That's why we need to be sensitive with this appointment. Remember also, there were a country where a lot depends on government. There's a heavy reliance on government, not just in terms of economic policies, but in terms of political, what do you call it now, political patronage. And of course, people, anytime you see appointment, the first thing people look at is, what's the name? Where's the name coming from? Is he Hausa? Is he Igbo? Is he Yoruba? That's the first thing before merit is actually secondary. And you just want to expect that our leaders will be sensitive to this. And that's why I keep saying that we need some level of explanation. I'm not sure we have seen any official explanation justifying this appointment. They might have their reasons, or the president, for instance, might have.
But I think you're right. There needs to be some explanation. Right?
So Prince Francis Chilaka, you're from Southeast, and Southeasterners now need be the people, the part of the country who don't suffer the most for the appointments of both former President Muhammadu Buhari and that of President Tinubu right now. In every way, Southeasterners don't suffer the most. So how you go still the supports the loop-sided or purported loop-sided appointment of this president if your people now don't suffer the most, and Ndume now they cry out make it get to do with everybody, make it fulfill balance equation. And you dey talk, say, you dey blame Ndume for talking.
I don't. Maybe you do not understand the sarcasm on what I've been saying to you since. I do not support Mr. President's appointment. All I'm saying is that the man speaking against it, which is Ndume, has no moral justification or moral right or moral standing to be able to criticize it.
But Ndume has been criticizing government. So he wasn't particularly best friends with former President Muhammadu Buhari because he spoke against the government.
The only criticism that I am aware of is the fact that he kept saying that Buhari was not in charge of governance. I don't understand. Buhari was the president. He was the chief commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
He did not complain about the president's lopsided appointment at that
time.
He
never did. He never did. If there is, let me see. He never did. So when you're complaining about somebody's appointment and you didn't complain about the predecessor, then something is wrong. So for me, yes, nobody is happy with Bola Tinubu's appointment. The way he's going about his appointment, nobody's happy with it. He's just flooding everywhere with people from the Southwest. And this is why we're having problem in this country. Every president wants his own people. And then this defense that people keep saying, oh, he wants people he trusts. In other words, he doesn't trust other ethnic groups. He doesn't trust to bring them close. But he trusts them when he needs a vote to become a president. So you see where the problem is. So for me, I am not happy that if you look at all the appointments of Mr. President, it is tilted towards one ethnic group, and that is the Yorubas. Whether they are from Kwara, whether they are from Oshun, as long as they are from the Southwest, then that is a problem. So when we see the truth, let us say the truth the way it is.
All right.
It is only the Southeast. It's only the Southeast that have suffered. The Southeast, they have suffered in the hands of Buhari. They are not suffering in the hands of Bola Tinubu. But tomorrow, these same Southeasterners who are complaining will be in the forefront of asking for people to vote APC.
All right. So let's quickly get into some other things that the senator talked about. It had to do with borrowing. It was shocking to hear him say yesterday that most of the borrowing or most of the money where the president they borrow need to actually pass through the directive or through the approval of the National Assembly by them as senators. That will not shock you because it shocked me. Because the constitutional, how can a president borrow without? I thought the essence of the National Assembly was to checkmate the activities of the executive. So if their chambers need to checkmate these activities, then what's be the essence of these borrowings? As I talk to you right now, the level of borrowing for inside this administration don't go to another level. The President Bola Tinubu so far don't borrow about 55 trillion naira within just 19 months. Saying administration they're about 2 years old. So within this period now, he don't borrow about 55 trillion naira, doubling, almost, making, in fact, waiting Buhari borrowing 8 years. Now he don't borrow. This is a question where a lot of people they ask, or almost about waiting Buhari borrowing 8 years, because Buhari leave a debt profile of about 70 trillion naira for him. Now our debts don't reach 100 and something trillion. How can we continue like this? So he Ndume complained about that and complained about the fact that most of this borrowing, they didn't even pass through the right process. In fact, it is some way they say the figures of the things that they use the money to save go shock you. Because you know that before you borrow money from international communities, you have to tell them exactly what project you're using that money, that fund to execute. So just listen to the interview.
Let me first of all say that I'm not against borrowing. Even the greatest countries in the world, America, Japan, China, all are big borrowers. But they borrow for physical, tangible, and accountable projects that you spread and pay over time. But my worry is not even in the borrowing, it's what you borrow for. Let me give you quickly a rundown of what I checked. You see, in June 2023, $500 million was borrowed for women program to scale up what they call NPWPSC. Can you see that? Can Nigerians see it? Where are the women? Then on June 23rd, the same day, $800 million was borrowed to cushion the effect the impact of high petrol prices after fuel subsidy removal. How? Where? Then on September 23rd, 2003, under the same government, $700 million was borrowed again for adolescent girls' initiative for learning and empowerment. Then, on December 23rd, the same thing, $750 million borrowed through what they call renewable energy scale-up. Then June 24th, 2024, $1.5 billion was borrowed to support Nigeria's reform for economic stabilization to enable transformation.
That one sounds very spurious, I have to be honest.
Okay, you see? Then in June 24th, $750 million again was borrowed for immediate financial and technical support for efforts to stabilize economy and to scale up support to the poor and most economically at risk. Then on September...
Well, they would argue that particular one, that they've been making payments to a lot of poor people.
Where are the poor people?
Some of their cash transfers and things like that.
Look, whenever you're doing something, if it is true, somebody will come out to say thank you. Oh, what passes through the Senate so far as this is these are itemized.
Right, the bulk of it passes.
No, the bulk. You don't pass the bulk. You pass the itemized. If, for example,
right.
Before.
So were all these itemized things approved?
Not to my
so you're saying they're extra?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge.
Because I know that
such amount. The medium-term expenditure framework.
Right.
It's something that they bring and we look at and maybe approve it, but that is not to say it's a blanket.
So you're saying these things have bypassed the National Assembly?
That is it, so far.
The reason I say that is that I know that in November 2024, the Senate approved, like, I don't know, 1.7 trillion naira or something to that effect, that the government had requested, which is like several...
No, it's not. Charles, get it clear. Before you pass the budget annually, there's the midterm expenditure framework that must come before the National Assembly for approval. These are the things that the government is anticipating to spend, but that is not to say that even if it is approved, it's a blanket approval. No.
Right.
Every item, every of this
must be accounted.
Yes,
right.
No, because you need to ask questions. How are you going to do that? How is it important? And when is the money? What are the terms? All these things are supposed to be discussed first before you engage in it. That is the National Assembly approval. But as I said, when you total these borrowings, the figure I got here is about $9.45 billion, which translates to about 13 trillion. And as I said, I mentioned most of them. These are items that are either intangible. Those items has nothing to do with infrastructure. I would have supported, for example, that the country is borrowing even more than that to build our infrastructures, to build railway,
right,
to build our
But you're
roads.
saying that these things that you're mentioning,
yes,
they're not tangible things.
They are not
that
tangible
you can
things
hold on
that you can hold on to.
Right.
And these are things that you pay in the next 40, 50 years.
All right, so you can imagine our unborn generation paying debts for waiting will not really even borrow, for money we will borrow we will not use and do anything. That is exactly what Ndume is complaining about. So is he also wrong?
Precious, let me quickly join in on this. Do you know there is an indictment on the National Assembly for a senator, a sitting and a serving senators? They always want to be called to come on air and tell you, Mr. President goes about collecting loan without passing through the National Assembly. It's an indictment. It simply shows you that we do not have a National Assembly, so they should close it down. It should be closed down. So, you know, when these senators come on air to talk sometimes, I ask myself, that each time they finish when they're in the Senate House, should they call them red chambers? Why is it that they don't raise such issues? Why is it that he has never raised it on the floor of the Senate? I don't understand what he wants Nigerians to do. The ordinary Nigerians who are thinking of how to survive. The ordinary Nigerians who are hungry, the ordinary Nigerians who poverty is asking to challenge the presidency. If they, the senators, cannot come out and challenge the executive arm of government, if they, the senators, have allowed the Senate to become a parastatal of the ordinary Nigerians to do. So who is he going to blame? Is he blaming himself or is he blaming the ordinary Nigerians? The senators should blame themselves because the senators have lost it. It simply shows you the kind of senators we have, starting from the Senate president down. Because it's an indictment of the Senate president that he's not ruling this country well. He's not able to carry out his oversight function over the executive arm of government. And it goes to tell us what the Senate president said, oh, whatever Mr. President brings. I also remember there was a time they said, request by Mr. President was approved in the dead of the night. It was alleged. So I guess that is what Senator Ndume is trying to tell us now. That the president has a way of getting his approval without the consent of all the senators. And there's no point for them humongous salary and not being of service to this country. Because now, from what Senator Ndume is saying, the senators have failed Nigerians. And because I think it's high time we initiate the recall process on all of them.
Okay, on all of them. We hear another group of people don't start the recall process on Natasha too. We don't know how successful that one could be. But let's leave that matter. Well, a lot of people go talk, say no blame the messenger, but take the message and leave the messenger away. In fact, people are already reacting to it and say Ali Ndume has been very consistent with his critique of administration right from Buhari. He is one senator who has handled issues headlong. Now we're seeing McLean Ibani talk, Abi. And who now? Pensert says, hello all, I find Senator Ndume to be a worthy critic of bad administrations, only in the press. I find him missing on the Senate floor. However, when issues such as Senator Natasha Akpoti's harassment crops up, only in the press. Why are you like this? You're not nice, Pensert. All right, let's quickly move to other conversations because we have very limited time to address this. Just to let you know, your country is so far owing about 55 trillion naira under the present administration. I know go fit tell on this is about domestic and local borrowings. So I know go fit tell on all about them. So when I go find way read about all of them one by one. But let's enter into another conversation. So amidst complaints, say then don't sack Mahmoud Yakubu. Well, he resurfaced today. As we speak, he's currently holding the weekly Independent National Electoral Commission meeting, and he's the one chairing it. What you know how it be when rumors they happen and they beat the rumors. And I saw they tell us nothing happened to Wike. I saw they tell us say Wike come out, nothing done. But at the end of the day, when we eventually saw him, we saw him limping. You understand? I will show you that video of him limping. So do you think that there's something really going on with the presidency and Mahmoud Yakubu before internal go expire by November? I think there's something sinister, something secret going on where we don't know about, or not just over-sabi people, then not just the carry rumor.
Okay, when you say over-sabi people, don't forget that the same rumor was carried about NNPC. And the rumor named a new head of NNPC. At that time, government said no. But at the end of the day, what happened? The rumor became the truth. So Nigeria has become a country when you say rumor, you hear rumor of somebody being sacked, you hear rumor of somebody being dead. Any rumor you hear in Nigeria, know that there's an element of truth in it. So I believe that yes, there are plans to remove what's his name, Mahmoud Yakub. Everybody knows that there are plans, but is it now? Who knows? After all, your president woke up from sleep and saw Mele Kairi. So anything can happen. But then if it's easy, this is also where the government has a problem. You don't need to show video. You don't need to show pictures of him holding any meeting. You don't need to. But if you do that, it means that there's a leakage in the system and you're trying to do damage control. So that's what they're just trying to do. Damage control and nothing. So for me, whether he holds a meeting, he doesn't hold a meeting, does it change the fact that there will be glitch during the election? Does it change the fact that people who were accused to have committed electoral offenses, how many of them have been probed? So it doesn't change. Whether he holds a meeting or he doesn't hold a meeting, is he looking at changing, working on the electoral law, the electoral act that people have been talking about? So these are issues. So for me, it's neither here nor there. Whether it's there, whether it's not there, we know that the national INEC has never been an independent body.
Okay. All right. So let's quickly move to the next conversation. And this next conversation has to get to do with your Labour Party. As yesterday, the Comrade Julius Abure led National Executive Committee, INEC, of the Labour Party had threatened to sanction the Abure State Governor, Alex Otti, should he go ahead with the planned illegal stakeholders meeting scheduled to hold tomorrow, Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. Now, it also warned the party's presidential candidate in the 2023 general election, Mr. P2B, against any conduct or utterance which promotes disunity within the party. That is, they won their presidential candidate before. Now, the party's leadership said it would no longer take kindly to anti-party activity from any member, no matter how highly placed the person is. Now, in the same vein, the LP NEC also announced the sack of Honorable Afam Ogene from his position as leader of the party's caucus in the House of Representatives. And in his place, NEC appointed Barrister Ben Etane Bene as the new leader. Now, these decisions were contained in a communique read by the party's National Secretary, Alhaji Umar Farouk, at the end of the NEC meeting held at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja yesterday, Monday. So Farouk said, NEC, in session in the exercise of its duties, hereby cautioned the former presidential candidates of the party not to participate in any action, not try to participate in any action capable of undermining the peace and unity, including the integrity of our party, Labour Party, as the NEC will not hesitate to issue a stiffer penalty if found culpable. If we catch you do anything, we get to do with our party where they illegal, where they anti-party, we go bring better strong penalty can give you. Now, the party's NEC also expressed satisfaction with the recent ruling of the Supreme Court affirming supremacy of the party in determining its leadership. He said, then they're very happy. Say Supreme Court can't give this judgment. We make them show say now the party supremacy. In fact, now the party they supreme to determine who their leader will be. But they say it further stressed that at no point within the Supreme Court judgment did it sack Julius Abure as national chairman. But I heard an audio copy of the court judgment from the court judge's mouth, justice's mouth himself, where he talks, say, every application where they filed by the person will bring the appellant, will bring the court, the person will bring the case come, say they approve all the appeal. And say all the things, them including the ones them where the first respondents will be Julius Abure talk, and including the cross appeal where he make, say they throw away them because of say they no reach. So how come that same court now the court where they are firm or when no talk say they don't sack Julius Abure? This now the contending issues now where it be say Labour Party get to deal with. In fact, NEC, they said NEC in session condemned its strong terms the activities of the caretaker committee illegally established by Alex Otti and P2B in a so-called stakeholders meeting held on the 4th of September 2024 in Umuahia. He says, Accordingly, NEC in session confirmed the Nnewi National Convention held at the 27th of March 2024 that produced the current National Working Committee chairman members under the chairmanship of Abure as, and then get correct. But the one where P2B and Alex Otiho say those ones are not get ahead. The Supreme Court admonished party leaders and members of the party to always abide by the constitution of the party. NEC noted that article, in fact, it talked a lot of things. I'm not going to read all of them finish. But just very quickly, because Labour Party through P2B's people don't respond to them this afternoon about that matter. As now, the House of Representative Labour Party caucus don't describe as laughable, naive, and misleading the purported appointment of another lawmaker as caucus leader by the embattled former national chairman of the party, Julius Abure. Now, they call him former national chairman. In response to an earlier statement, this one what I just read before, by the caucus, which welcomed last Friday's Supreme Court judgment and indicated the willingness to work for the internal peace and progress of the party under the leadership of the National Caretaker Committee chairman, NCC, led by Senator Esther Nenadi Osman. Abure yesterday announced the sacking of Afam Ogene as the caucus leader. Now, according to the caucus in the statement Tuesday, the Labour Party reps emphasized that the position of a caucus leader is not an official-based or office-based on appointment. Rather, the leader is chosen, elected by peers, inmates them for the National Assembly there. Then they choose. So say the House or the leader, whoever say na them be the leader of the party, no get say to come help them appoint who go lead them, who go lead their caucus for National Assembly. So he said what? Rather, the leader is chosen, elected by peers based on their own conviction of his or her leadership qualities and capacity to speak on their behalf in the overall interest of the party and the people they represent. So they say Abure team no get the mind, they don't get the akwobi, say nothing give them the impetus to talk, saying they sack the national the caucus, the National Assembly caucus. Say not be within their jurisdiction, say not them the caucus go decide who be their leader or who not be their leader. So say that one when they say they sack caucus leader, they no sack caucus leader. Say that one, na loriro, you no go work at all. Prince Francis Chilaka, what is going on with the Labour Party? How has it become so difficult to interpret a Supreme Court judgment that was almost made very obvious?
Okay. Let me start from there. I think where the problem is that Nigeria is gradually descending into a banana republic, where judgments are given and lawyers would sit in their offices drinking coffee and trying to translate or transcribe or trying to, tell people what they think the judgment is or how they think the judgment should be executed, not minding whether the court says A or B. That is very unfortunate, and it is unfortunate because it is something the lawyers are doing on purpose, and they know why they're doing it, But then, looking at this whole thing, Abure should go and sit down. He should go and sit down. Seriously speaking, Abure should go and sit down, whether he likes it or not. We're all learned in this country. We've listened to the tape, like you said, the voice note of what happened in the court. And so we know that Abure has been sacked. And if Abure is talking about the supremacy of the party, he will also know that the party sat down and said, your tenure has expired. And we're putting in place a caretaker committee. And don't forget that it is because of the caretaker committee that Abure went to court. He wanted to assert himself as chairman of the Labour Party because he didn't want the caretaker committee to operate. So he went to appeal court to appeal that judgment of the High Court. And the appeal court said, okay, you are free, you can continue. But the Supreme Court has said, no, you cannot continue. The Supreme Court was very clear, on what they were saying. They didn't mince words. So I believe that Abure should go and sleep and find somewhere, you must not be a party chairman. It is not a do or die. So I don't know why Abure is insisting that he must be the party chairman. You are leading us. You are leading the people. The people say they don't want you. Must you force yourself on the people? And this is what Abure is doing. And it's very embarrassing. It's very shameful that Abure will keep doing this and doing this and doing this. How does he want the party to be built? Elections are drawing closer. And you are busy fighting. You have been fighting to remain the party chairman for how long? When you know expired, you still went and held a kangaroo Congress, which was only meant for you and your cronies in Enugu State or so. So, you know, the whole thing is that whether he likes it or not, the Supreme Court judgment will be implemented to the letter. And Abure knows that he has lost out. So everything he's doing now is even showcasing. To me, I feel that Abure was planted by APC to destabilize the Labour Party. Because that is what his actions are showing. His actions are showing of a man whose intent is to destroy rather than to build. So I don't know. I just feel that you know, our politicians have not gotten it right. The political class have not gotten it right. The only thing the political class has gotten right is embezzlement and bad governance. But in terms of following due process, the political class has not gotten it.
Now, is this just about the political class not getting it right, or more about people placed as stooge in the Labour Party to work against Peter Obi?
Yeah, but I said it.
Because the idea I say, I think don't leave Abga, then can't leave Abga to PDP, can't leave PDP to Labour Party. If he manage leave Labour Party, they go talk say, see you know, sabi even control people.
No. See,
use control Nigeria. So you know the worthy candidates to use Nigeria. Is this not the narrative that they're trying to push? Is this not the reason why
that is a very childish narrative. It is only, like people will say, it is only a stick that will stand or a tree that will stand when you say you want to knock it down. If you precious as you did now, if somebody attack your YouTube and you find another platform you can use that will be better than your YouTube, you will move. It's a human thing. So anybody saying that if you move from this party, no, I totally disagree with that. I am totally disagree. If Labour Party becomes very toxic for him, he will leave the Labour Party and look for a party that can give him a platform to achieve his like some people have achieved their life ambition. He also achieved his own life ambition. You know. So what are we really talking about? The point is that Abure and his cohort, it's becoming very clear that Abure has never had the interest of Labour Party at heart. It has always been a personal interest. And maybe it's even the stooge that is planted to destabilize Labour Party.
So that's exactly what we're saying. But let's move to other conversations. So, but bottom line, how do you see this ending now? So, in case they go sanction,
bottom line is that Abure has been sacked. There's nothing like.
But he's not going. He's not
going. He's going. He's just listen. His lawyers will tell him the truth. He's just doing bragado. He's not just standing. His lawyers will tell him the truth, and he knows the truth. What he's doing now is to see whether there's any money left in the coffers of Labour Party. Let him see how he can hand over to chop the money. Nothing else. He knows the truth. He knows that he has been removed. So there's no magic about it. So let him and his cohorts go and rest. The party supremacy will be upheld.
Okay, all right. So let's quickly visit Ezebonwoye Wike and his matter. I'm sure you heard about what happened, how he hosted some members of the, House of Assembly in Rivers State to more like a dinner party in the UK yesterday night. Now, what's with this thing about leaving Nigeria, going all the way to the UK to host these people for a dinner, right? Because a lot of Nigerians, when they talk about them, they even say, how low can we really stoop in this country? So pictures of him hosting them, made the round, and videos also surfaced how Ibise, the former governor of River State, used to host these former members or suspended members of the House of Assembly to a tea party for inside River State. Let me see if I can get that footage to play so that we can watch him doing that. But while that is going on, really, there were some accusations again yesterday, as 4 persons who were previously detained in connection with the fire incident at the River State House of Assembly have raised fresh allegations, claiming they are being pressured to alter their original statement to implicate Edisenehi, the chief of staff of the governor, and then the governor himself, similarly Ifomara. In fact, they say they even give them plenty of money, to the tune of almost 200 million naira, to make them alter their statements. They are Chime Ezebalike, Kenneth Basa, Oladele Lukman, and Macpherson Olumini, who were in November last year acquitted of the charge after about 6 months in Kuje Correctional Facility. At a press briefing in Port Harcourt yesterday, Monday, Ezebalike said they were recently contacted by a prominent PDP leader in Obiapo local government area to revise their narrative. 3 of the 4 acquitted suspects consented to appear on camera during the press briefing. So according to them, the request has linked to a wider political scheme allegedly aimed at more like corroborating claims made by in a press briefing by the former head of service, George Wike, in Abuja. So we were. Sir, I cannot finish. Okay.
You know, when the Supreme Court gave their
so you go also respond to Wike,
when they gave their famous. I'm coming. When they gave their famous judgment, based upon which Mr. President decided to impose a state of emergency in River State. I remember we how can they see what is happening around them and close their eyes to it and say, oh, they're not aware or they don't see? Now it is becoming very obvious that this whole thing was pre-planned and was a script that is being executed. First and foremost, it is waste of the resources of the River State people. And if they didn't go with the resources of River State, then it is a waste on the resources of the FCT people. It's either the FCT people will foot the bill or the River State people will foot the bill. Any which way, one party must fit the bill. This is an embarrassment. It is so shameful. Honestly speaking, it's so shameful. It shows you how myopic, how I'm lacking words to use to describe these so-called 27 dishonorable members of River State House of Assembly. It shows you how low they are. It shows you that they don't even have a mind of their own. It goes to show you that every problem that has been going on in Rivers, that Wike has been fomenting it. Wike has been behind it.
Just go ahead, sir. Please go ahead. I just needed to show a bit of that footage, sir. Please kindly go ahead.
It is really, really embarrassing, honestly speaking. It is so shameful. These are men who were elected by their people. These are men who claim to be representing the various constituencies in River State. When the state is in sober mood, here they are celebrating. What kind of leadership do we have in this country? Why do we have men who have lost integrity, who have lost honor, everything, they have lost it, all for money? How would the country develop with this kind of shameless leaders? How can the state develop? Is this what they're supposed to be doing? Even Wike, who claims to be a learned man, who claims to be a lawyer, even Wike, no, it's a disappointment, honestly. This is the height of mediocrity. This is the height of it. When people are mourning, you are dancing, you are celebrating. A whole state has been captured under semi-military rule. And here that the supposed legislators who are supposed to be thinking, finding a way out of this whole quagmire the state is in. They're in London for 5 days. They're going there to go and learn. At whose invitation? They just went there to enjoy themselves. So they have gone to London to plan their next line of action, just as Mr. President has gone to France to also plan how to come and continue to rule us and collect more loans and impose more taxes on the Nigerian people. Honestly, I am totally disappointed with Wike and this so-called. I expect that by now, the Rivers people should start a recall process. They should start the recall process of these shameful honorable members. And this is why we're asking Mr. President, why are you keeping Wike with all the shenanigans, with all the nonsense Wike is doing? Why are you keeping Wike? Why are you retaining him as a minister? Then it shows you that there is more. This whole plan is not just about Fubara. It's about 2027. Go and note it down. It's about getting the votes, the illegal votes that were awarded to APC in 2023 is what they're planning again for 2027. And that is why Mr. President will close his eyes to all the behaviors of Wike. I mean, this is not the kind of Nigeria those who fought for Nigeria believed in. This is not it, honestly. How do we explain to our children? How do we read the history book to our children that there was a time when some people who are supposed to be parents, who are supposed to be models, who are supposed to be mentors, were behaving like ragtag armed robbers? How do we explain this kind of situation to our children? How? This is totally unacceptable, honestly. This is the height of impunity. It simply shows that everything has gone south. Everything has gone south in this country. The level of impunity, the level of bad governance, the level of mediocrity. This is it. There's nothing else to talk about. I feel so ashamed of this set of human beings. And I'm talking about people who are saying they're asking them to come and rewrite. Who is offering them money? The person that called them, doesn't the person have a name? Why is it that every time we keep hiding the name of the people who are offering bribes or the people who are pressurizing us to do things? Call their name, the world will not end. Death, now once person they die. So why are they hiding it? We're tired of somebody offers us 1 billion, somebody else offers 2. Who is the person? Who are the people offering you this money? So whatever it is, we are from what is playing out, everybody should know, use their tongue to count their teeth. And the Rivers people should know where the problem is coming from. And they should know that the problem is not from Fuba, but the problem is from Wike and his cohorts.
Okay, all right. So I'll make you quickly enter inside Natasha Potiodo matter because just when the court has stopped her from talking, say, should not talk again. We no one hear you say "pim" again as it gets to do with anything will concern you and Akpabio. Don't say "pim." If we hear you say "pim," as courts don't say, she not talk again now. Madam, now don't keep quiet. She they use the courts now they act because she don't file lawsuit against Boy. Remember, say her husband don't file lawsuit against them for the same purpose of defamation, for saying that she blackmailed her husband to marry her. Now she don't call the husband talk say in file that lawsuit say na lie, say in fact say if he no apologize within 14 days. Say they go carry and go court. Apology, we no see till now. So it be like saying that the court matter now we do so now because Natasha don't carry and go court. Charge them 5 billion naira. Say, come and pay money for the things you said about me that I did not do. 5 billion. And her money, it be like say she not get anything to do with naira and thousands and millions anymore because the money don't too small. So she don't carry and go court for talking, say she gets 6 children for different men and that she forced her husband to marry him. How you see this matter and how you think say this matter will take end at the end of the day? Because as it be like this, it be like say the matter still they begin. You see they do press up, it never still finish.
I'm sure that wherever Senator Mwabonya, whatever they call him, wherever he is, he'll be sweating because the matter they put for your head. All the money they don't chop, the constituency allowance they don't chop. You go bring them out. Don't go do case. Because this case is not going to end anyhow. 5 billion naira no is small case. But but then on the more serious note, I would say that I like the way Natasha has handled this matter. She didn't behave like some people in Nigeria who would have gone to use the police to kidnap you and then from the back take you to court. She's doing the right thing by ensuring that she follows due process to go to court. I mean, it's for what's it call him, the Senator Nweboyi to come out and show the court where he got his facts. Because yes, everybody we all saw his press interview. We all heard what he said, and people recorded it. So it's not like saying, "Oh, now hearsay," or now them say. He's now the one saying it. So let him come out and tell Nigerians and explain to Natasha, how he got involved. Maybe he's one of the husbands, or one of the fathers of the children. You cannot tell, And maybe he was there when she was pressurizing the husband to marry her. So these are things the courts will eventually sort out. So it is good she has gone to court, even though a lot of Nigerians no longer trust the judiciary. But it's a good thing. So let's see how it pans out. For me, she has done the right thing. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that justice will prevail at the end of the day.
All right, make we hope say justice could they prevailed at the end of the day and make that justice make it happen quick because time no day again. And this is just to talk about as the president Bola Tinubu and Peter Obi and the rest of them don't pay condolences to the families of the late pioneer owner of Diamond Bank, Pascal Dozie, as he died at the age of 85 today. And that one don't raise a lot of controversy. But let's quickly get to security issues. As Governor Babagana Zulum, today Tuesday, he don't break in silence. So Governor Babagana Zulum don't break silence. He can't say the renewed Boko Haram attacks and kidnappings for many communities almost on everyday basis without confrontation. That is, it be like say they do this one without anybody even stopping them or do they hey stop it? Say it be like say it is signal say Borno State don't they lose ground for inside this Boko Haram fight because now waiting don't they happen with this one now. Zulum note this one. He say administration don't they very supportive of the military for inside the fight against Boko Haram and other terrorists where they don't they fight, leading to relative peace for inside the last years. But say this period, it don't they lament to say the recent attacks and dislodgement of military formation for Wajeku, Sabongeri, and Damba local governments, Wuge, for inside Gamboru, Ngala, if a different area. Remember, say different military camps, they don't attack recently and they dislodge them. You don't complain, say this is dislodgement. Say, be like, say, you don't do too many, you don't show, say Nigeria, no go fit continue with this fight again, for Boko Haram. Because so they talk to you, other insecurity matters, them still they happen for inside the country. We just here today now say bandits abduct Kebbi University students, them. For Federal University, Benin Kebbi, say one of the students, 9 they abduct and bandits then carry the person. How you go inside university area environment, carry students, then Otilo, carry commons. That's the show the depths of how the insecurity situation for inside the country. How we won't solve this matter like this? Because in fact, we still they talk about Plateau State. Oh no. Remember, so say they talk about Plateau State own and the number of people who don't die for Plateau State. Where EB say today, I think they interview Solomon Lalong because he maybe the time when we talk for interview, say make federal governments liaise with them to end the matter. In fact, I didn't go to talk, say nothing like former header clash. So this one people they say a former header clash. They happen for Plateau State. Say not before my header clash anything. Say what's in they happen now just pure terrorism and say government no one call their name. Say not terrorism be. Not hear
Let me begin by sending my condolences to the people of Plateau State, Bakwas local government, to be specific, and the entire nation. It is indeed very unfortunate that every day human lives had been reduced to mere statistics. The security challenges on the plateau has been around with us for over 2 decades. It started around 2001, and the victim community was my own very community, the Tarok people. We spent 3 years without even going to farm, coming under incessant attack and marauders. Thank God after some time, we were able to stabilize, organize ourselves, and repelled the marauders, and we recorded some stability. But since then, the Plateau community has remained victims, moving from one community to the other, from the southern part of Plateau to the northern part. And it appears to have been domesticated now in Boko's local government. From the report I gathered about what happened, is that there is an established terrorist enclave within that local government. And an attempt by the security to repel them, disperse them, now resulted into this carnage where over 100 and something communities have been ransacked, killed. So it's quite unfortunate, but why do we continue to have this recurrence decimal and the same music of, oh, we're on top of the situation, oh, government is aware? I think basically what has fueled the Plateau situation is the absence of justice. In all the Plateau crisis, there had been several commissions of inquiries. This commission of inquiries indicted non-persons over the years. None of them had been prosecuted. Some of these terrorists, they unleash havoc and kill people. Those that are arrested, taken to court, the following day they are granted bail, or thereafter they are granted bail and they are back into the community again. So we are ruled by impunity, and there seems to be no political will to deal with the situation, because I believe that it is only when justice is administered to the various commissions of inquiries reports that are rusting in the government libraries, we will not see an end to this human carnage.
You hear them say they never say justice, say government they look the other way to make sure. In fact, hear more, he talk more. Say government they look the other way to make sure say they do justice
the problem
to this matter. He talk more things. Watch out.
Is trying to redesignate criminals with either ethnic identities or community relations. There is nothing like harder harassment clashes on the plateau. No. These are terrorists. They have their enclave, just like terrorists operating in Zamfara and elsewhere in the north. They steal cattle of people. They grab land. They operate a system in the bush that is a government. And these places are known. The security sometimes said, well, we couldn't do anything because there are no access roads. And I couldn't fathom that, because, I mean, in a technologically driven economy like ours, would the issue be that of access roads? What happens to drones and cameras? Other sophisticated gadgets of intelligence gathering? So if you sum up this, you will come back to this issue of lack of a political will. Because if the political will to deal with the situation is there, these people will be given their rightful designation. They are terrorists. There was no any farm or herders animals that were either rustled by the community or they trespassed into any farmland that resulted into this series of attacks we are hearing. Where they held sway as an enclave and they operate is ancestral land belonging to the natives of that place. They've sacked them out. Most of them are living in Boko's town. and churches and schools. So if we must be very honest in dealing with the plateau situation, first, we will have to stop pretending that it is harder farmers' clashes. No, at all. It is terrorism. It is genocidal because it has made the international definition of genocide. When a group of people attack another group with the intention of wiping them on the face of the earth, it is genocide. When you employ a policy of starvation and trying to use that to wipe a community or a group of people is genocide. So what is happening is genocidal. Let us not be hiding about Ministry of Livestock. Ministry of Livestock cannot even do anything about this problem. The problem is for the federal government to designate these people with their rightful names, consider them criminals, and stop even attaching ethnic identity to them. Yes, predominantly, they belong to an ethnic nationality, predominantly. But I don't see them as operating in the overall interest of that particular ethnic nationality. Rather, they are criminals. And so if we do not treat them as criminals, we will miss the point and will continue to hold visits to Plateau State by government officials, and they will be on top of the situation while the criminals are on top of the situation.
All right, now the matter with this one. So Prince Francis Chilak, apologies. I think network booted you out briefly. So along your point, talk or sharply, make a response so that
let me start with Zulum. I'm very I feel very sorry for that man. I have followed his administration very well. And I also remember sometime last year or so, you know, he cried out, he said, look, that the new wave of Boko Haram, the new wave of kidnappers, the new wave of terrorism coming out in the north, especially in Borno State, that is going to be alarming. That because now it is no longer the foreigners that are carrying out these acts, but that they are recruiting indigenous youths who are unemployed. They are recruiting them into their midst. And, you know, he said it clearly that this thing is going to snowball into something else. And that is what it is becoming. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that, you know, in Nigeria, we leave issues and we chase shadows. We live where we should concentrate and face the problem at hand. Imagine the number of military men, policemen already deployed to Rivers State in the state of emergency. These are people who would have been more useful in the north, fighting Boko Haram, fighting insurgency. And also, the government is complicit in all of this. The government has found it difficult to declare these people as what they are, which is terrorism. They are terrorists. Declare them the terrorist organization. Let's stop calling them headers, farmers, cattle. No, this thing has gone beyond it, and I am happy that, you know, Lalong has come out to say that it is beyond what we think it is. No part of this country is safe from these people anymore. The only thing is that they have not started, you know, coming into the streets to shoot at people, to kidnap people, but it's going to get to that. If they can walk into a higher institution like Kebbi State, you know, University, then it means that, I mean, you and I saw what happened before during Buhari's tenure when they went to Kaduna Airport. Yeah. You know, so this where we're treating this in like, you know, as a child, you know, as if we're talking to babies, we're trying to nurture babies. We're trying to, no, these are not babies. These are killers. And the government needs to be decisive to decide, do you want to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians, or do you want to continue to play to the gallery the way you are playing? And that is why I have told you several, and I keep standing on it, that this idea of rehabilitating and reintegrating has to end. It has to end. The moment you are arrested as a Boko Haram, either as a cattle whatever, as long as it has been proven that you are involved in any nefarious activity, nobody should think of integrating you. And the way this thing is being handled, people are beginning to feel that, you know, it is only when you are from the southern part of Nigeria and you are caught that you'll be treated like an animal. But if you are caught from the north, you are treated like a sacred cow. And you know, interestingly, Precious, I'm surprised that the Northern Elders Forum haven't come out to declare war on the bandits that are beginning to ravage Borno and Kebbi now.
They have won the president. I think also they won. It was on Sunday that we talked about it. They want the presidency to take action fast.
So they should give an ultimatum. They should give ultimatum to the government of that of Borno State that if you are not able to curb these people, we will come and retaliate. So the retaliation should not only be should not only be in Edo State. They should go to Borno State and go to Kebbi State and retaliate.
Okay.
You can see the hypocrisy in our lives. You can see the way the hypocrisy is. Nowhere to hide anymore. Nobody can hide anymore.
Make I leave you. Thank you so immensely as you don't help us for all the things.
Finally, before I go, hold on. Before I go,
okay,
this is a message to the people of Rivers State. This message is for people of Rivers State. And I ask this question. You said you want to recall Natasha from Kogi State. And all of you are jumping up. Meanwhile, Natasha has done more empowerment of her own constituency than these rogues you people have in Rivers State. You call them your honorable members. Rivers people, it is high time you people start a recall process because these people are not representing you people. They are representing themselves. They should all be recalled. The Rivers people is a challenge to you people. You people should initiate recall process. It's easy now. As I know as we cannot there around, the themselves know they're around. Oh yeah, want to go get that signature. It's easy.
The president know their house, vice president know their house, we can know their house. So sharp.
It's easy to recall now.
Thank you so much, Francis Chilaka. If this is your first time of joining me, please kindly click on the subscription button. Please subscribe. Follow us like a village people. Subscribe. Also turn on the notification button so that you know when next we go live. I'll do live again by 7 p.m. hopefully with Dr. Dayo Kayode. I'm going to look at other matter them as they get to do with what they happen for inside our country. But I have to let Prince Francis Chilaka run this evening. Thank you so much. I appreciate you once more. Thank you very much. As you put mouth for the matter with the grant. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Protect your mental health. I'm seeing you again this evening. No, don't stay too long. Don't stay too far from me. I'll see you again this evening, Nigerians. Stay cool. God bless you.